What makes now an outstanding HR professional, I think, is the ability to both have and to maintain perspective at all times. There are things that go through our offices and our desks all during the day, and sometimes we think about, how could someone possibly think that? How could that happen? And it's easy to not remember that, everyone has a story, everyone has an experience, and those experiences make up their perspectives. And even if their perspectives are not the same as ours, they should be valued and respected. And we have to understand that even though we might disagree, we still need to think about it before we make decisions. Something else I think we need to do as HR professionals is always advocate for HR. When you sit around that strategic table, there's always finance, there's always operations, there's always production, and they should be around the table. But even more importantly, you have to have HR around that table, because every strategic decision an organization makes has a people component to it.
The traits that make an outstanding HR professional are someone that is empathetic, fair, knowledgeable, has emotional intelligence, and has a sense of humor.
What makes an outstanding HR professional, I believe, is someone who really cares both about business and people simultaneously, which is really hard to do. Someone who can make decisions that takes care of people and leads people, but also makes the best decision for the company as well.
I believe what makes a great HR professional is someone who listens effectively. When I was a kid, I had a hearing deficit, and my parents engaged me in things like a choral group and Gilbert and Sullivan to teach me how to think differently about how to listen. And so for me, those experiences taught me how to listen and really hear what somebody was saying. And that's what's really important.
An outstanding HR professional has the ability to listen, the ability to remain calm when everyone is losing their head, and the ability to make difficult and unpopular decisions but be fair at the same time.
My proudest career moment actually happened just a couple weeks ago. We started a program at St. Anne's called St. Anne's Academy, and the purpose was to identify future talent and build up a leadership team to set up our organization for the future. And this is the 5th year of the program. So what I did is I invited 4 members of that first cohort back to meet with our new team, and to sit there and watch them in a panel discussion, talk about their experiences, talk about the work they've done, talk about how proud they were to be part of our organization. I was almost like a proud dad sitting there watching my kids. I know that sounds kind of funny, but that was a huge moment for me and for the organization, because our program is accomplishing exactly what we hoped it would. It was a great moment.
My proudest career moment was my opportunity to work with Stephen Covey. I worked for a senior leadership team. They were actually a family of 7, and they were looking for an opportunity to transform their work culture. And so I thought that the Covey organization had a lot of synergy with who they were as a family. And I had the opportunity to work directly with him. And he really taught me the importance of understanding how to think about the outcome-based perspectives of how to get things done, but also how to do that with high levels of integrity, and how to be kind and empathetic, and how to mentor people through those scary challenges. And I just was so proud that I had the chance to work with him.
My proudest career moment is being nominated for this award, being recognized as an honoree.
My proudest career moment in human resources is when, after a decade of negotiations, we settled all 9 union contracts. But my proudest employment moment was returning public restrooms to the Department of Motor Vehicles.
The best piece of advice I've received, particularly in HR, is that we are in the business of taking care of people. So as you work with a company, they're taking care of clients or a particular service, we're there to take care of them so they can be their best, and that's always been my driving force in human resources.
The best piece of professional advice that I have received in my career is don't sweat the small stuff and pick your battles. Everything at work is not necessarily a crisis and can be fixed in one way or another. And going back to the sense of humor. You always have to have a sense of humor.
The best piece of professional advice I received happened when I was a really young leader. My first leadership role, I always thought my job was to make every decision, to overmanage people, to tell people what to do. A lot of us make that same mistake. And then I got some advice from a mentor of mine who said, you know what, Bob, it doesn't matter whose idea it is, as long as it's the right idea. And just by taking that simple piece of advice, I realized the best ideas don't have to come from me, don't have to be an original idea of mine. Let the team decide, let the team make the best decision. They probably know better than I do a lot of the time. And if we do that, and a team gets buy into the idea, it's most likely going to be successful.
The best piece of professional advice I ever got was actually from Stephen Covey, which many of you have already read if you read The 7 Habits. But he talks about seeking first to understand and remembering what it's like to be in other people's shoes when you're dealing with them in any circumstance, positive or negative. And it's been really important to me in my career to take a step back and try to understand someone else's perspective before I created what my own judgment would be, or how I might partner with that person to create a resolution or an opportunity.
Number one on my bucket list is when I retire, my wife and I are going to become RV vagabonds.
So number one on my bucket list is to be the next Anthony Bourdain. I had an opportunity after college to travel, and if good health and good resources become available to me in retirement, what I want to do is travel, and I want to immerse myself in other cultures, learn about people's music and their art and their traditions, and really appreciate the diversity in those cultures and really get to know what it is that I don't.
On my bucket list, it's kind of funny, but my wife and I have been trying for the past 25 years to get tickets to Saturday Night Live. We've been in that lottery every single year. We have never won. I'm almost 50 years old, and it's going to get to the point where we're probably not going to win that lottery, but we're going to have to figure out a way to get those tickets. But we've been a lot of nice places, but that's the one thing we just can't seem to do, but we are going to do that someday for sure.
My number one on my bucket list is to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I've always wanted to do that.
The number one thing on my bucket list is to travel to all the 50 states someday. So that's what I want to do. It's not very exciting, but that's what I want to do.
A hidden talent I have is that I'm a pretty accomplished hiker. I've hiked all 46 mountains in the Adirondacks, and also I did the Ultra Saranac 6, which is, I don't think a lot of people know that.
There's not a lot of hidden talent here, but I will tell you, I am an excellent speller. Back in 1981, in the 6th grade, I was a contestant at the National Spelling Bee, and I've always had a knack for spelling. I enjoy it. I'm a little bit picky about those kind of things. I don't have to use a dictionary ever. I'm pretty good. I know I drive some people crazy about that, but I enjoy being a good speller, and that's about all the talent you got from this guy.
So the 5 things I have to have are my wife, crossword puzzle book, my smartphone, my concealed carry permit, and a boss who respects me and the work that I do, and I'm lucky to have all 5 of those.
Okay, for me, it's my family and friends, coffee, laughter, and chocolate peanut butter pie. Anything chocolate peanut butter, actually. Those are my must-haves. I don't think there are 5, but that's what I need.
So my hidden talent is that I can play any woodwind instrument. To this day, I still once a year get together with my college friends and we play gigs together for a weekend. And it goes back to that listening that my parents helped me with when I was a kid, and how music for me has always carried me through all different aspects of my life. And it continues to teach me that whether I'm the lead or whether I'm part of the choir, that my contributions are equally important and can be equally meaningful.
Dog.
Both.
Dog.
Dog.
Dog, what's a cat?
Coffee.
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 Hot tea.
Sunset.
Sunrise.
Sunrise.
Sunset.
Sunset.
Save.
Spend.
Save.
Save.
Save so I can be Anthony Bourdain.
High deductible.
High deductible.
I'm a high deductible guy.
High deductible.
High deductible, I work at a nonprofit.